Here is some footage from a practice session at Blunt Iron. This was on a Sunday where usually not many people show up, so I used the opportunity to put on the GoPro and record. I actually didn't even want to use this. I was prepared to discard the footage because I'm very unhappy with the video quality due to the limited lighting in the cell. Half the lights don't work and the GoPro needs a lot of light, so the motions are very blurry, which you may or may not notice, and I'm also not happy with how the camera was angled upwards too much, so not great. But then I figured, hey, I've already got it and some of you might want to see it anyway, so why not? So this is really mainly raw footage, minimal editing. I just deleted a few sections to not make the video too long. What we're doing here, Chris and I, is slow work with the synthetic longswords. He's one of the more advanced students and has really nice form. He also teaches others. So the idea with this is to train technique. This is not about winning. Since we're going at a slow speed, we have time to think and we don't need to wear protective gear, so we can move better. And so this is the time to figure out techniques and strategies, see what works. And so we're going back and forth here with strikes and parries and counters. It's mostly two-tempo, because that leads to fewer double hits. People under a certain rank are not allowed to use thrusts in slow work for safety reasons. Ironically, this was the exact day when I got the longsword rank that allows me to do that, so that's kind of funny. The idea is to not speed up just in order to get a hit. Here's an example of a feint. I pretended to cut high, and as soon as he raised up to guard, I threw a zverkow or thwarting cut to his arm. Even though it's called slow work, it can actually be done at pretty good speed. The important thing is that both move at the exact same speed. And here I'm just doing some single drills just to practice technique. Cuts, parries, and cuts from different angles, flowing through into a high guard, and all of that in front of the mirror, so you can see a little bit of the posture and all of that. So yeah, just standard stuff here. And then some slow work with the Dussack, with Callum. And these here are, these have a synthetic core, the Dussacks, and are covered in leather. Pretty good training tool. So you can see sometimes there's some hesitation. Mostly it's feints. Feints, of course, don't work quite as well in slow work because there is more time to figure out what the opponent is doing, but sometimes it does work quite well. There I kind of tapped him a bit on the jaw. So it's really important here to do that with control. Even if you're moving slow, you can, due to not having any protective gear, you can still hurt your opponent if you're careless. So certainly important to do it nice and controlled. There's a cut to the leg. It's one of those cases where, if you noticed, I feinted high and then rolled down to the cut to the leg. You can't see if I'm doing leg voids, of course. You could see him do one there. That's the drawback of the first-person view. Got a leg hit there.
Yes, very good.
Yeah, I tried to feint, but he just countercut at the same time, which was a good choice. Despite not being allowed to speed up, there are ways to take shortcuts, so to speak. For example, if I do a wrist cut instead of an elbow-powered cut, then I can break up the rhythm. If we're going back and forth with attacks and parries. And that was a really good one. He struck the arm as I was coming down.
No,
was fun. Perfectly fun. It was a good hit. Here I tried another one of those wrist cuts, but he caught it in time. And I kinda got the counter cut, but I wasn't happy with it because it only hit with the very tip of the Dussack right through the face. That's always nice to get a strike like that. A little back and forth here. Yes. And he got the arm. This is something I like to do, take a retreating step to avoid the cut and then just counter as they're still recovering from the cut. It can be risky if you misjudge the distance or if they kind of chase after you, you may still get hit. But when it works very nicely. Cautious movement here. And again, very tippy. I didn't like that. Some people argue that, well, a tip cut is good because the tip moves at the highest velocity, which is true, but it would still be a very, very shallow cut. It just, if not much of the blade connects, then the resulting wound is not going to be very deep, so it wouldn't be incapacitating in a real duel. So that's why we don't count those. That one, yeah, that was a valid hit. Nice leg void. And another good one. Nice leg void. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it despite the miserable video quality, and thanks for watching.